Have you ever asked the question, why are people so mean to each other? Well, I wanted to find out the answer to this. One thing that always surprised me was how much there is an attempt to categorize bad behavior into diseases. I followed that train of thought for a long time, but what I found is that it is a dead end. There are diseases, and there are serious realities with those, but they definitely do not account for the overall and all too common feeling that a lot of people perceive when they ask, why are people so mean to each other? Now, you can look at children for a clue, and almost always, you find that mean children have some overriding environmental condition that affects them in such a way where they behave badly with other children. Many of those times, it is parental instability, or fighting or some other abuse on account of adults or older children that is affecting them in such a way where they are mean with other kids. One day I was playing a game with a group of friends. No one really knew how to play the game, but in order to get into the spirit of things we all listened to the rules of the game and prepared ourselves to play by those rules. We all thought the rules were a bit vicious, but we were all friendly and so we ventured forth. What I noticed, is that by the end of the game, most everyone was as vicious as we all thought the rules were when we started. But, instead of the rules being blamed, the individuals were blamed as they were personifying the rules. So then I thought, could it be that we are all playing one big game with sets of rules that promotes what we see as people being mean? As far as I can tell, this is actually why there are so many people that are plain mean to each other that diseases do not seem to be able to account for. In addition, this is congruent with both the observations of the children being mean to each other and the effect of game rules on groups. While that is not the most positive of realizations, to me it is very positive from the perspective of clarity. Furthermore, and in this case, inspirationally positive, is that if this is the case, then the fact that we have majority peace and order, speaks volumes in regards to a true human nature that is very positive and optimistic. Let me explain that. You see, if we can observe that there are so many people being mean, whether that is a consequence of a general negative disposition that we have not identified or that we have identified in terms of it being something the people are being exposed to, in either case, there are a lot of humans, a great overwhelming amount of humans, that are positive in the light of either possible scenarios. That then would mean that the intrinsic human nature is absolutely positive and kind rather than mean. In my book The Opportunity, I go through the thought experiment that helped me flesh out the entirety of what is going on. What I was incredibly humbled by is how long humanity has been going through this and how long humanity has felt that there is something wrong. I have been additionally humbled to see how humanity eventually always rejects tyranny and oppression, even in systems where the pretense of freedom and control for your well-being exists, as was the case when there was taxation without representation and the eventual formation of the United States with an inspired constitution. It was an incredible surprise to find that the systems that we call government themselves are highly susceptible to influences that are very similar to the type of ripple effect that small errors in programs can have, where they end up bringing down the entire system. It was also surprising to find that the answer is all around us and that so many humans can empathically feel it without actually being able to fully understand and articulate it. I feel humbled that by some miracle, I was able to see it. And I feel that like the wheel or so many other basic things that we consider our intrinsic knowledge, once it becomes common knowledge, that one day humanity armed with this knowledge and understanding will never go back to the days before the discovery of fire or the wheel and will live with the benefits and opportunities afforded by such fundamental understanding. For the purposes of this video, however, what stands out to me is that the prevailing thought that so many people are mean is really a symptom rather than a fact. The people themselves are not mean intrinsically. Some people say being mean is human nature, but what stands out to me is that the opposite seems to be true. People seem to be predominantly good and kind despite the fact that other useful talent that humans have to survive, like adapting and playing by the rules of the game, can lead them to act contrary to their nature, especially if the rules of the game are overriding, and used as the basis for evaluating human value. I sincerely hope that this content has provided some insight for you. If you would like to see more content like this in the future, please like and subscribe to let me know and to inspire the algorithm to share this with more people that may feel the same way. Happy New Year!